Well, I'm live, but we're live. Man, what we really got to talk about is that Mania and Post Raw. So, yep, Mania was a colossal letdown. All right, not just any kind of letdown. It was fucking colossal letdown. I was, I had a feeling. I was like, Rock's not going to be involved. But they kept like, oh, they mentioned Rock, and I was like, why aren't they mentioning him throughout this build? This build, dude, I like just like I thought to myself, I was like, you could have built this whole thing way fucking better, you know? Like even like from the Rumble. So I would have still gone with the choice not to have Cena win the Rumble, but this is how what I would have done it. He gets tossed out of the ring prematurely while Seth and Roman or whatever. Well, actually, no. It shouldn't be those three brawling. You know what? If I'm in a fantasy, all right, let me stick to what I'm saying. He gets tossed out the ring, but the refs are, preoccupied with Seth being Seth, right? Like that whole thing with Seth Punk and Roman, right? So he gets tossed out because it wouldn't make any sense for him to stay in as long as he did because he was, he was pretty much jobbing for the last 7 years or whatever. He hadn't won a match in 6 years. So he gets tossed out, and then he comes back in the ring like Steve Austin in 1997. Well, really, it'd be like X-Pac in 2000. And then, to end the match, he gets tossed back out again. And I'd say, this way, like when he gets back in the match, he has to screw somebody over. Like he has to eliminate somebody. Maybe it could be Punk to set up a Cena versus Punk feud. It could be one of those guys. But the fact that he gets eliminated already, I think people would be more, you know, in a perfect booked world, I'd have Roman still in there and Rock come in and screw Roman, and then you have Rock, Roman, and Cena, Cody. But let's just say Rock and Cody. Actually, you know what? It's fake booking. So why not just go let me just go all the way with it. So yeah, Rock screws Roman, and then the guy who was supposed to win the Rumble, Punk, ends up getting thrown out by John Cena with the help of Seth Rollins, right? Because what happens at Elimination Chamber? The same thing happens, but it happens first here, and then you know the fact that he gets thrown out, it makes people. So Punk gets thrown out thanks to Cena, and that's also heelish. And then Jay ends up throwing Cena out because Punk is pissed off at Cena as well. Right? It's not because you know well, Punk could be partially pissed off at Cena, or help Cena, or actually no, the last guy. No, yeah. So somebody has to distract one of the last two guys in there. It should be Roman, Cena, Jay, and you could have like Logan Paul up in there as well. The Rock could come out, distract Roman, because he's gonna start beefing with him, and then it's almost like Stone Cold and McMahon at Rumble 15. Boom, Roman gets eliminated via distraction. Now you got Cena, Jay, Punk got eliminated thanks to Rollins' distraction, and then so Cena's taking the heel route to eliminate these guys. He's doing it based off distractions, coming back in the ring, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna have Cena win the Rumble, right? I'm gonna have him win the Rumble. hmm Why? Because he came in there and he was helped to win the Rumble. Not necessarily, but he cheated to win. When people didn't expect it, he came in and pretty much just cheated. He got cheated to win the Rumble because he had to jump back in the ring. So he lost earlier, but he cheated to come back in the ring. Is what I should have said earlier. So basically, that's the gist of this. He cheated to come back in the ring. He Eddie Guerrero comes back in the ring and wins the match. Fucking, I'm gonna have him win the match because like the fan reception at the time, they wanted Cena to win. And for this reason, so that they don't get sour on Jay's win, I'm gonna have John Cena win. So John Cena wins, but because he cheated to win, like the next week on Raw or something, they're like, yeah, we're not gonna have a repeat of '97. So you're gonna put your win on the line at the Elimination Chamber, right? Mm-hmm. Gonna do that, right? And so all the last few guys who were in the ring, like him, all those guys, even Logan Paul, Roman, Seth, Punk, they could all be added to the Elimination Chamber match, kind of like that Fatal 4-Way they did with the last four guys of the Royal Rumble in '97. Could do something similar to that. And then from there, you could have pretty much the same thing happen, except I would do the heel turn a bit differently. I would have The Rock, looking for his quote champion, come to the match, telling Cena, or not Cena, but like come to the match with like his championship, right? His like Muhammad Ali championship, and he would tease this on SmackDown to Cody. He's like, whoever takes this championship belt and uses it to make themselves, my champion, essentially like put themselves over so that they can face Cody at Mania, you will, essentially be my champion. He throws it in the ring, and it could be the last three again. It could be Seth, Punk, and Cena. Seth would try to use it, but, he get, fucked over, and then John Cena would pick it up and try to use it on Punk, but it doesn't work, right? So now you have the only two guys doing heelish things at the end of this match are Seth and Cena. Why is John Cena using this belt? Why is John Cena using this freaking The Rock's help? In the past he wouldn't have done this. So then essentially the same thing happens where, Seth ends up getting eating his loss, and then CM Punk tries to come in there, and that was John Cena and CM Punk, right? But then John Cena ends up with the opportunity, whether he could hit Punk with the belt or take the high road and, wrestle him. He's not down to do that. And so what does he do? He hits Punk with the belt. But that doesn't put Punk down. Not just yet. No. Then Seth Rollins does the little curb stomp. Boom. And then, remember, all the while, Rock is out there. He is out there watching this, right? Seth does the curb stomp. Boom. And then the STFU. And then John Cena wins the match. Then when they open the chamber doors, Rock tries to, he's like, you're my new champion. He tries to say you're my new champion. John's like, fuck that. No. I just wanted to win the match so I could, have a chance to become the 17th champion. But he doesn't say that, but that's what's going on, right? That's the psychology of it. And then Cody comes out. And then Cody's like, Rock's like, he tells Cody, John didn't take up my offer, but will you, pretty much. He's like, because I need a champion. That's what he's saying. Except I'm the champion. But, no, I'm dead serious. Well, I'm not dead, but I'm serious. It's a freaking, that's one of those Naked Gun type jokes. But no, anyway, he would say, he needs his new champion or whatever. Cody could say, go fuck yourself. And then John Cena and Cody, they're like, okay, yeah, we both said no to Rock. We're just going to have a babyface mania. And then that's where John Cena turns on Cody. That's how I change up the heel turn. Just because it was like, why would Rock come in after the match? It would make sense for him to come in during the match looking for somebody, not someone specifically, but the winner of the match, right? And the winner of the match is obviously the guy who's willing to sell his soul to win the match. Seth was willing to sell his soul, but it bit him in the butt. John Cena was willing to sell his soul, but it didn't cost him because no one expected him to do it. He knew he had to take those measures in order to win the match. And then from there on, then you could have a tournament to see who could face, Gunther, right? It could be Jay and all the guys really who ended up in the match, like Jay, Priest, Damian, Balor, Roman, CM Punk, and Seth. And that's like 7 people. You could add one more. It could be Dom Mysterio. But then they all they all screw each other out of their wins and then splinter off into their own feuds. Rock could, screw Roman out of his win, and then, that ends up with Rock and Roman at Mania, right? That could be that. But everybody else pretty much ends up in their own matches, right? Finn gets screwed maybe by Dominic, maybe not unintentionally, right? And then they end up in their match. Drew and Priest, same thing. Seth and Punk, same thing. Now you got like one-on-ones across the board. And then you could have Jay end up winning that tournament so that, the reception on him is way less worse. And John Cena's facing Cody. But in the build-up to John Cena versus Cody, you should have them, brawling. Like Cody should be pissed because he got kicked in the dick, ready to brawl. So Cody brawls with him the first week, and then Cena comes back the next week and fucks him around. But even in the weeks that Cena wasn't able to show up, they would have hype packages showing years and years leading up to this event, like with the fans disrespecting John or whatever. Like, why didn't they do that? Like, oh my gosh, the missed opportunities. You could show video packages to almost like to catch up newer, younger audience, and to remind the older audience, like you guys used to fucking boo him. But that wouldn't be the focal point of this video. It would be him chasing his 17th and needing help to do it. He's past his prime, which was like on the back burner in this video, which is so dumb. Anyway, they go to Mania. Rock and Roman happens. Rock beats Roman. Cena beats Cody. And then Jay beats Gunther without the fan hate. All right? And so that's pretty much how you would book that. But let me start drawing again. Let me create the shading and all that stuff. And this would obviously be now, which brown was it? Was it 53? Uh-oh. I set it up last week too. Which brown was I supposed to use? I put 558 up there. Why though? This does not look like 558. That's how I book it. Notice how I didn't even bring up Cody getting his receipt. I didn't think that was like people were uppity about that and all, but I was like, if you're gonna have that, you shouldn't have Travis Scott out there alone. You know, goodness, oh man, I was like, you know, the logical step would be to bring Rock out. You know. And fun living in the new world. Ain't it fun? I'm gonna have to darken this a bit more, but Not like a 558. Should I have used yellow on yellow? Because this yellow on brown is not doing what I want it to do. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. It's giving hobo. And I was so concentrated on getting it right that I wasn't even talking again. I swear there's another brown that I used. Come and go. You come and go. I'm gonna darken that up a bit. I don't like it, but whatever. That's it. See y'all later. I'll come back.